Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is the MeWe Metaphysics and Wellness Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here today interviewing Sarah Perez. Sarah, it's great to be with you.
It's nice to be here.
So tell me, what is it that you share? What did you share at our events?
So at the MeWe events, I will be doing some drumming, shamanic drumming, and everything I do is Reiki-infused. I'm a Reiki master teacher, and the reason why I got on this path was because I really want to help conquer stress, and Reiki was the way that I help conquer my own stress. So I brought my musical talents in with it, and that's when I found shamanism.
Mm-hmm. You also suggested when we were chatting that there's some products that you sell too. Is that right?
I do. I make Reiki-infused crystal bracelets. I've been working with crystals for 30 years at a metaphysical level, and I just find them super helpful and fascinating. And there's different ones for different things, and bringing the Reiki to it really helps amplify those intentions and the healing properties of them.
So tell me a little bit more of your history of it sounds like you were in music and then you got interested more in shamanism, or first was it Reiki, or how did all this kind of unfold for you?
Well, my parents got me a piano when I was 7. That's going way back. But, as a girl working her way up the ladder in corporate America, I was an engineer for 16 years. Mm-hmm. And my body was like, my mind was like, nah, I'm not stressed. I got this. But my body was taking on that stress. And finally, one day, my body just got tired of me saying that you're not stressed out anymore. And it was like broken, but not broken. We are all whole, right? I just want to make that very clear. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to figure this out on a mental level, being an engineer, right? And I ended up getting my master certified health coaching or my certification, and the food was there, the diet was there. I was taking care of myself that way. And what happened was it wasn't enough. And so that's when I had to dive into the more spiritual aspect of it and really bring together everything I knew to make it work for me. And so it's not just all left brain headspace stuff. It's a little bit of that and a little bit of the spiritual and the holistic wellness side that really brings everything together. And that's when I discovered Reiki, because the supplements that I was taking, they weren't working. I was still exhausted all the time. I was still grumpy with my kids. And it was actually Reiki that helped me realize, oh, maybe I don't want to be like a health coach making meal plans. Maybe I want to be doing this, but it's scary. And I've never done this spiritual stuff before. And so that's where I find myself being the intersection for a lot of those women who want the same thing, but they're not so sure that the woo-woo works.
And where did the shamanism show up in there?
The shamanism came a few years later after I became a Reiki master. It just naturally happened. I was in a healing circle and I was like, oh, well, I've had this drum for 15 years. So let's see if we can make it work for the shaman stuff, because I had a business coach who was also a shaman, and I really loved that part of her business coaching. So I was like, I could do that. And I play the djembe drum, which is not a shaman's drum, but it's still a drum, and it still gets your brain into those brain waves that help you relax and really go on a journey. Mm-hmm. And I was already channeling meditations for my Reiki clients anyway. So I figured, hey, let's infuse it all together. And I learned how to do that. And it's been pretty powerful.
Wow. So do you give people mini experiences at an event, and then you do deeper experiences with people in private, or?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how it works. I was holding my own events. However, I felt like that was draining a lot of my energy to do all of that well, you know, you know how much work it is to put together events and stuff like that. So I figured, oh, well, you know, I'm going to do like a whole event with a bunch of other practitioners, because I really do thrive on collaboration and stuff like that. So I do a little bit of a mini experience. And if they want to go deeper and go into a personal level journey where afterwards we build their vision and action steps they can take, that's what I help them do.
Great, great. If people want to learn more about you, find you on the web, where do they go?
I have a website. It's called spmeditation.com. Sarah Perez is my name, so SP are my initials. And I really do, I love the meditation aspect of journeys, of Reiki. I've always had it in my style, what I do with people. And so spmeditation.com, you can find everything. I have a blog, like all the things.
Great, it's great. I realized one set of questions I didn't ask you that I want to go back to. Maybe a little out of order. So what do people typically come to you for? Do they get drawn into the idea of the Reiki-infused drumming and shamanism, or do they come with particular questions? Like, what are the typical themes of how people show up for you? I mean, stress, it sounds like maybe is a big theme.
Stress is a huge thing. I find a lot of my clients have familial trauma. And they really, it seems like they're out in their outer world. They're just like, oh my gosh, my mom this, or, oh, I was so sad because I lost my mom. Like there's a lot of trauma and grief with the family ties for the women who show up with me. And that's not to say it's all like loss and grief and stuff like that, but there's a lot of that going on. Plus, there's a sense of, well, I have to do it this way because that's the way I was conditioned as a little girl. Like nobody's going to love me unless I do it the way daddy set it out for me, kind of thing. So I get a lot of that. And that's where the stress primarily crops up and shows up in their everyday lives.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, just playing my own personal life, right? All the things I'm used to holding, I keep holding, right? And
Yeah.
like, I let them go, and choose to be in a new way and create a different energetic experience. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Great. Well, it's been lovely talking with you. I'm excited that more people will get to experience your work.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're so welcome. And for all of you watching and listening, you can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. See you soon.